at is how to adjust to have specific images for buttons, for example. So if I just have a look at the program so far at the minute, I've got expandable buttons. So when I open it bigger, this gets bigger with it. But if you want to have a specific image, like say for this one, now this one wouldn't work that well with a rounded rectangle. It's probably easier just to do a complete rectangular shape. So what I'm going to do is do a button a bit like this, but with fireworks. So I just go to fireworks, create new document. So you can create new up here, or you can press on this button. And I'm going to do 50 by 50 for this next button. And in the next button, what I'm going to do is do a square or rectangle shape. Now I'm going to just zoom in for the moment to about 300 and I'll do the rectangle like so. So it's just black at the minute. Now I want to change it to be a sort of greyish colour, and I could do a gradient as well and change the gradient to be something like that, and maybe have it where the offset of it is a bit bigger. So maybe I just want to change this one to be something like that. That'll do. Okay, so with the button that I've made, now I'm going to get an arrow in it as well. So I'm going to put an arrow in there by clicking on the rectangle and arrow, and I'm just going to draw it at the size that I want. That looks okay. And I'm not going to do a radial on this at all. I'm just going to do a solid color, and I'll probably just go for black. Now you can see it looks a bit pixelated, but don't worry about that. When you zoom out, it won't look like that. Now you can see you've got these little yellow sort of vectors, and what you can do with those is adjust this arrow, so you can see you can do things like that if you wish to do that, or I can adjust the size like this. I can pull this out a little bit and do all sorts of things. Okay, so I'm just going to leave it more or less like this and center it up, and then if I zoom out to 100, that's what the image now looks like. So if I just save this button, and the important thing would be to save it in the right format, so I'm making sure I'm going to save it as a flattened PNG and just give it a name. So I'm just going to call it next BTN, and it's flattened PNG, and make sure I save it in the same folder as my quiz, and that's it. Right, so save that. Okay, so once that's saved, you should see it in your folder. Right, I'll just go out and back in. So there it is there. And what I need to do is then adjust my code to look for that button. So the first thing is it's looking for button.png, so I'm going to change it to next button btn.png. Right, so that would work as it is. So if I just do F5, right, there it is. Now if I open it, you see the problem I get now is that this is, because this button is an expandable button, it's expanded but the image isn't. Okay, now to fix this, what I'm going to do is just make the width and the height for this button exactly 50. So if I take the relative width and just leave width, and the relative height and just leave height, and put exactly 50 pixels instead of this decimal point number, and then run the program again, and now you can see if I expand it, the button stays the same size. So you've got both options available to you, and now you know how to actually get an image. Now you can imagine you can do these images in buttons, you can do images in a label as well. So up here where I've got this word computer science, that's in a label. So actually I could just set an image for that instead of having this text. So you've got a logo, so your logo could go there, and you could change all the format of this. Now the other thing you can see is that we don't have the text here. Now it might just be that the text is black, So what I want to do is take this and just change the foreground color of the text. So if I do foreground, I don't know if this will work, but it's worth trying. So foreground hash symbol, and it's just all F's. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 S for full color, and then try that again. And that might be the reason why I can't see that next word. And yeah, I'm right, because it's behind my black button. So it just actually about fits in there. So that's fine, but you can imagine in your button, actually, you could just use the text tool over here and write next in there. So that's another possibility that you can do that in the button. But the other way, this way, is actually not a bad idea either, because if you put the word next in here and then afterwards you want to decide to change it at a later point, well, you just have to change it here and then that's it done.